It's the top story tonight. Reaction to the attacks on Sarah Palin. Joining us now from Birmingham, Alabama, Fox News analyst Laura Ingraham. So when you heard all this, how did you react?
One word, Bill. Cowards. Okay? Anyone whose job it was to get Palin ready for debates, ready for public appearances, ready to be in the national spotlight, who is now coming forward making these claims, I have no idea whether they're true or not, without attribution, without identifying themselves, so people like you and me and others can say, well, where did this exactly happen? You know, what was the context? Are you making a mountain out of a molehill? Was something else going on in the room? I mean, we're not able to actually ask that person anything. So I find it, frankly, disgusting. I think the person should step forward. I think media figures, and maybe you have the chance to ask Senator McCain this question. Senator McCain, did these things actually happen? Do you have knowledge that these happened? And if so, if Sarah Palin was this out of the loop and frankly just completely unable to answer these basic questions, then why didn't you drop her from the ticket? I personally think these things probably aren't true, Bill. And I just don't think they are. I spent a lot of time with Sarah Palin a year and a half ago, and that doesn't sound like the Sarah Palin, I spent a couple hours with. It just doesn't.
Now, I'm skeptical for one big reason, and that is when it was first announced that Sarah Palin was the vice presidential nominee, the media, as you remember, Laura, sent literally hundreds of people to Alaska.
Everyone.
National Enquirer went up there with a checkbook and went writing checks. And they would write checks, and the other media would talk to anybody who had disparaging comments about Sarah Palin. They were looking for scandal, they were looking for stupidity, they were looking for greed, avarice, all of these things. Nothing. They combed the state from Nome down to Juneau, okay? They got nothing.
Right.
Okay, so I'm saying to myself, if those hundreds of reporters armed with cash couldn't come up with the woman was a dunderhead, or the woman was a greedhead, or the woman was this, or the woman was that, then all of a sudden she turns into, some Hollywood starlet. She turns into Britney Spears right before our eyes. That's why I'm skeptical about it.
Bill, there should be repercussions for whoever is involved in talking to Carl Cameron or anyone else in this manner, okay? This is why, by the way, part of the reason why John McCain went down in flames on Tuesday night. Bill, he was not able to hone his message, keep a clear and consistent message on the economy. He supported this ridiculous bailout, which, as we can see now, is just going to be an excuse for a bigger federal power grab. He did not want to talk about right, but he wanted to talk about heirs. And now it's all somehow Sarah Palin's fault that this campaign has to go off in defeat. She's the only person, Bill, as far as I can tell, who had an ability in a Reagan-esque fashion to energize the electorate from coast to coast.
Okay.
And she's still standing. She's still proud. And I find this absolutely disgusting.
But I think that she needs to come on here on Monday night, Laura. I think she needs to come on here on Monday night.
I think that's a great idea.
Because, look, this isn't going away for Sarah Palin. And the impression unanswered will stay. So if the governor has national aspirations, she's got to come on and she's got to say, look, here's what I think happened here. Here's who I am. She's not under the aegis of them anymore. She can do it actually whatever she wants.
Bill, don't you also think, though, Bill, in the no-spin zone, it would be great to have John McCain sitting in the seat,
he's not
and you say, Senator McCain, well, Senator McCain, you said that Sarah Palin was qualified to be vice president and president of the United States if need be. Now your staffers are going around saying that she didn't know basic facts about civics and government organization.
It's a point that's not going to happen. He wouldn't even come on. We gave him free airtime the last weekend, so he's not coming on.
Well,
I got to ask you one more question. Talk radio and the internet is all about, they're inflamed about the fairness doctrine. They believe that Nancy Pelosi and his people are going to try to get some kind of legislation that's going to demand that talk radio have equal points of view. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Barack Obama wants any part of that. If he does that, he gets big corporations like News Corp, which owns Fox News Channel. He gets a whole bunch of media companies coming after him. He gets lawsuits all over the place. Pelosi gets her butt kicked. They'll never win this. So I can't even imagine that happening. How do you see it?
Well, I think a lot of us a year ago, Bill, couldn't imagine the fact that the federal government was buying stakes in major American businesses and the banking institutions, and that we're in the situation we're in now. So I think to say we don't think it's going to happen. You know, I hope it doesn't happen. But all I can say is what they did to Joe the plumber, what they do to people who question the one and the message of change and all of that has been pretty ugly so far. I mean, Sarah Palin is the one who has been toughest in my mind on the Obama message and aura. And look at what they're doing to her. Look at what the McCain people are even trying to do to her.
Yeah,
so
that's not right.
I think anything's on the table for them. I really do, Bill.
Well,
I mean,
I want them to do it.
I'm not blowing smoke.
I want Nancy Pelosi to do it.
I want him to I want to testify on Capitol Hill, and then I want you to testify.
Laura and O'Reilly want you to come after us on the fan. We're
come on.
ready to receive you.
Bring it. Bring it, baby.
All right,
no
Laura,
problem.
Thanks very much. Have fun down south. Next on the